Давай. Еще раз.
A friend of mine sent in a question about the outhaul on the main. And so you saw what his problem was, but in trying to help him fix it, this is the video to show others how to fix that problem.
In order to have days like this, you're going to have days like this. This is Tips on Tuesday. We're going to talk about what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. Stay tuned so you don't feel like doing this. If you like these videos, please subscribe and give us a like. And if you have anything to add to the conversation or any questions, please leave them below.
Go. So it has to be a lot of tension, right?
Yeah, this has to be tight, and then, you know, and how you tighten it up is you put a line on this, you put it up to this winch, and then you pull this back while there's tension on this, and you can get it tight in here. And then once it's tight, then you can tie it up here. That way it's super tight, and then you don't have the problem of it slipping.
Thank you.
It looks like very tight. Or you think it should be even more tight? It's like this.
So this right here is the furler for the main, and I decided to take it apart and grease it up a little bit. But you can see the furler motor is down here, and right here you see the pole that goes down through here, and it hooks up to the motor. Well, I was getting a little bit of rust at the bottom, and that was because the screw was rusting out. So I'm just gonna take it apart, clean it up, and then tighten it back up and make it look really nice. But you should do this every once in a while. And if you have problems pulling this out, you haven't greased it enough. And you should take that out every once in a while. It doesn't take very long. You should take it out, grease it up, and put it back in. So it should come out easy. It should just slide right out. If you have problems, you've mistreated your furler. So this is one piece, and it looks like yours is actually spinning. It should just be one piece. It looks like the bottom is staying in one place, and then the top is only spinning. So this goes on here like this. But this should spin together. They shouldn't be separate. Check yours out. So what I do is I put grease around the bottom of this here, put it on all the screws too. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some grease on the bearings. So these here, we'll grease them up a little bit. And then once we get those greased up, we'll put it all back together. So now I've greased the bearing. Now this part just goes on, nice and easy. And then after that piece, we're going to put some grease on this. Let's put a little grease up in here too. Down inside. There. Now what we're going to do is just put our pole in, and it comes down to here. Now we just have to get it lined up. Doesn't want to line up. There we go. So now it's, see, it lines up and then just goes right through. Clean that up. Clean this up a little bit. Now she's all lubed up and ready to go. Now we just get our screws cleaned up. Now we just screw the screw into the bottom like so, and then we'll tighten that up a little bit. This nut is, or bolt is tight, but not too tight, just tight enough. And now what we're going to do is we're going to put our screw in, which keeps the lock. So what this screw is right here is it locks it together. You can move this as much as you want without the motor being attached to it. But if you want to use the motor, then you have to put this screw in, and then you can see that there's a hole right here. So you just line those two up and put the screw in. And we'll get the... So that's all tightened up, everything's put back together. The only thing that we need to do now is tighten this line up. And let me show you how to do that. One of my friends on an Amel 54 was having problems. And the top was spinning and the bottom wasn't, but these should be tied together. So they should spin together. And not sure why that happened. Not sure if the Amel 54 is different, but I don't believe so. So this part, the top and bottom, should spin together. If not, you might have to get a welder and make sure that it spins together. In order for this to work properly, what we need is, we need the line in here, and it has to be, this line has to be super tight. If this line's not super tight, then what happens, you'll get slippage in here and it's not gonna furl in properly. So what we're gonna do is we put a knot on here, we come over to this winch here, grab our winch handle, put our winch handle in, and then what we can do while we're holding this, we can tighten this up. I'll show you how. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to pull back on this one to give it tension inside, and then you're going to just grind this in. So it's super tight. Then while you're holding this, your line that loops inside, you're going to put it in. So we're using this winch, we got this super tight, and now this is all tied up. So you'll be able to see. And I've got several loops on it. Now I'm just going to tie it off with one of the 4 knots I know. So now you can see it's all tied up, and then we just loosen this one up. It's all tight. Everything looks good. Now we just have to try it out. And of course, clean up our mess. everything looks like it's good. All right, let's go try it out. And there you go. So that's it, folks. It's all done up. And you can see it's got a little bit of grease in there. Runs nice. That's what you have to do every once in a while to keep your, actually this is the Outhaul, to keep your Outhaul working well. So just to sum this up, this line has to be tight. You tighten it up by putting a rope to here, and of course we have to put the old line back. Almost forgot about that. Should have a winch handle down here. There you go. So everything's all tight. You know, make sure you grease this up and move it once every year or so, maybe even 2 years. I don't think I've moved that for 2 years, but if you grease that thing up properly, it's not going to get stuck. But if you don't service this thing for a long period of time, this thing could get stuck. And I've seen people with pullers trying to get this out, but if you just treat it properly, it should take you about 15 minutes to do what I just did.
If you like this video, give us a like down below and click here to subscribe. That really helps us. And if you want to watch more of us, click one of those.
They said they came from Spanish.